What's happening, everybody? Jay Shockblast here, and wow, I just got back from seeing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, and what can I say? I didn't hate it, and as a matter of fact, I shockingly enjoyed it quite a bit. And obviously, spoilers, inbound, all that good stuff. So, just keep that in mind. I think this might actually be a fairly quick movie review though, because everything I want to say is just so straightforward. I really feel like this movie just totally is leaps and bounds above what we had with the first one. And I think Michael Bay was involved with the first one and not this time, so maybe that has a lot to do with it. But they really were able to make this a fun movie. Now, I wasn't sitting there laughing in my seat the way I was at Deadpool, but there were some funny moments. And I think more than anything, I think they got most of the characters right. Very few things that I would really criticize about the movie. It's almost nitpicky, to be completely honest with you. And I've gone back and forth on it. I'm giving this an 8.5 out of 10. It's really an enjoyable movie. I will buy it on Blu-ray when it comes out. I don't know if I'd go see it again in the theaters. I think I'll wait for it to come back out. But I mean, this is a good movie, and I don't know. I just was not expecting it. I think I went in with a pretty poor perception based on the last movie. I don't remember what I gave the last movie, if I even reviewed it, but it couldn't have been high. This movie, though, it's your typical summer blockbuster type movie. And even Megan Fox was okay, and it's crazy because, the one character in the movie that it's not that I disliked him, he was just completely, they missed completely on this character, and that was Stephen Amell as Casey Jones. And honestly, that's a big part of why I've docked it a little bit. Now, if you followed my channel, you know that I am quite possibly one of the biggest Stephen Amell fanboys in the world. I literally he has a wine company, and I literally bought 2 bottles of his wine, had it shipped from Washington to Florida to my brother, and had my brother reship it to me in Massachusetts because they couldn't ship it directly to me in Massachusetts. So, when I say I'm a Stephen Amell fan, I will go to those lengths to do those things. I even bought, at $100 a pop, I bought tickets to one of his wine tasting events in Philadelphia last year, and unfortunately couldn't even go and didn't even ask for a refund. I'm an Amell fan, man. This was not he was not cast properly. This was not the character for him, and that's not his fault. I think he played the character the way that they wanted him to be played, and if you weren't familiar with Casey Jones as a character, you probably wouldn't give 2 craps about how he was portrayed in this movie. Amell did his job, and to be honest with you, I think if you watch Casey Jones in this movie, you're seeing who we all want Oliver Queen to be, and who, quite frankly, Oliver Queen should be. He's got some humor to him, and he's not dark and brooding Arrow, they kind of pattern after Batman anyway, the TV show, that is. So I just don't think he was the right person. Honestly, and I don't think they showed the character properly. They should have, I really loved Elias Koteas played Casey Jones in the original, and he nailed it. And I think I came into this expecting that type of Casey Jones because, quite frankly, that's who he is supposed to be. He's not supposed to be a police officer or even a corrections officer. Like, he's not supposed to be in law enforcement or striving to be law enforcement. As a matter of fact, he's supposed to be the complete opposite. He's supposed to be just a crazy vigilante. And, he barely even wears the hockey mask in this, Like, when I saw the, Casey Jones in the original Ninja Turtle movies, like, he quickly became my favorite character in Ninja Turtles, next to Raphael. And they didn't get it right. I don't blame Amel. I think he did what he was supposed to. They really should have stuck to Casey Jones' real backstory. Just had him, and I understand that they did it for the purpose of the escape scene and the way that they wrote the movie involving the police and having the turtles come out of the shadows and have the police know who they are. Like, I get that they did that for the sake of the story, but you didn't even need to use the Casey Jones crutch for that. You could have named him anything else. They created Vernon Fenwick, Will Arnett's character, the Falcon. You'll get that in the movie. So I just don't understand why we needed to use Casey Jones for that. Obviously because, he puts on the hockey mask at one point or another, and he does skate at one point, but it was just unnecessary. I would have loved for them to have used CM Punk, who I know wanted the role, and I would have loved for them to have gone with that kind of original Casey Jones story. So, like, that was my biggest issue with the movie, I think, and to be completely honest with you, if that's my biggest issue, then I think we're in good shape. Sheamus from the WWE, they did get a WWE character, played Rocksteady, and Gary Anthony Williams was Bebop, and I don't know what that noise was. They did a fantastic job. Like, I was curious to see how Sheamus would do it. Obviously, as a WWE fan, I'm familiar with, his thing and him doing what he does, and I was definitely intrigued. And he did a great job. And Bebop was played well. I think they were completely corny, which they're supposed to be, and they established them as powerhouses, but albeit idiots. Brian T is Shredder. This Shredder was more believable. He didn't really do the Shredder thing very much. They really deferred to Krang on this one. But what he did as Shredder was very believable and much better overall than what they had going on in the first Ninja Turtles movie, where he was like this big freaking robot. And the Turtles, the Turtles were great. You had your internal struggle between them. They were the brotherhood, the teammates aspect was a major role in the movie. So you had to see them kind of come together as both brothers and teammates. It's funny that in this review I'm focusing the least on them because, quite frankly, I think they nailed them. Honestly, I loved the way the Turtles were portrayed. It was a great growth story. It was just a really all-around solid, job. I don't think they looked too bad either. A lot of people thought that they were worried that they looked like aliens and everything in the last one. But to be honest with you, I really don't think they looked that bad. I actually kind of prefer this look than the original movie where they were kind of cartoonish. There was even one scene that I did like with Casey Jones was the bar scene that you'll see. And there was even a kind of cameo, if you will, of Vanilla Ice. Not the Vanilla Ice song that were, Go Ninja, Go. But it was still Vanilla Ice. It was still pretty good. Like, honestly, the bar scene that you'll see, it was very Casey Jones. It's just the backstory didn't do it for me. And just Amel's, he's just not the right guy. Like, CM Punk would have been perfect, especially if he grew his hair back out. He would have been the perfect Casey Jones, and I know he wanted it. So, the story all makes sense. Like, honestly, there really isn't anything. I would have loved to have seen Baxter Stockman take his fly form, but obviously that's for another movie. They definitely teased that aspect. Yeah, man, like, this is definitely a solid movie. Like, 8.5 is not the type of score I just throw around and give out. I almost went 8, to be honest with you, just because, like, it wasn't. It was a good, solid movie, but I gave X-Men a 7, and it's so much better than. It's more fun than X-Men. Like, I didn't hate X-Men. It's just X-Men was a really solid, well-made movie, and this one is a little bit more fun, and the cinematography is great. I hate 3D, but like, it looked great in just regular HD. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. The story is believable. The turtles are a lot of fun. They do their thing. I especially enjoyed the scene at the Knicks Clippers game. You had your celebrity cameo with Carmelo Anthony. Yeah, just really cool character development all the way around. It definitely sets up a third movie. We're going to definitely see Baxter Stockman take on that fly form at some point. I have to recommend people go see it. If you're a Ninja Turtles fan and you can just get over how they completely butchered Casey Jones as a character, you're really going to like the movie a lot. And I don't take that responsibility lightly. I feel like I'm very hard on a lot of things, and I enjoyed the movie. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I hope you guys do end up going to see the movie and that you do enjoy it. And let me know if you have seen it and what you think, and we'll see you. Peace.